Okay, so first lift we've got is a power clean. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the power clean, but before then we're just going to look at progression movements to that. Okay, so first movement we've got is a clean grip shoulder shrug. So all Tim's going to do is pick the bar up in a clean grip position. This movement we use to help the athlete learn positioning, and also we can use it as a warm-up movement and also an assistance movement to the power clean. So he stands the bar up. What we're looking to do is to get into a high hang position. So all Tim does is break the knee, so he's got a nice soft knee, a slight break in the hip, so he's got a bit of flexion in the hip, and then he's going to create this tension through the lats, so he's squeezing his shoulder blades together and extending through the chest. We want to be nice and relaxed through the arms, okay? But we're not focusing on the arms at all, just keep them nice and long and relaxed. All Tim's going to do is going to extend through the chest and shrug that bar, okay? We're focusing on the shrug and our positioning at the top there. So there's a slight extension through the hip and the chest, but he focuses on that shrug. What we're looking to do is get that shoulder to move up, straight in line with the ear or just behind the earlobe, okay? But we're keeping the arms nice and long, okay? Keep the wrists flexed, the elbows externally rotated, and we just extend slightly and shrug, okay? Nice one, Tim. Like I said before, we can use that as a warm-up movement prior to our hand power cleans, our power cleans, but we can also use that as an assistance movement. For example, at the end of an upper body session, if we want to hit our traps, we can just load that movement up and just shrug, okay? Next movement we've got, so the one after that, the next progression from there is a rack pull. So we're going to position the bar so it's at mid-thigh, okay? We can do this off blocks or you can do it off pins, either way, it doesn't matter. So we position the bar at mid-thigh. For me, that's perfect, okay? Gets Tim into that hang position. So we're looking for our feet underneath our hips, okay? Knees, okay, just in front of the bar. Bar mid-thigh, shoulders over the bar, hips back, hamstrings are engaged, okay? All Tim is going to focus on now is extending aggressively through the hip, knee, and the ankle and shrugging that bar up. Keeping the elbows locked. We go. Good. And again for me, extend and shrug. Good. Extend and shrug. So all he's focusing on is being nice and powerful in that planar movement. Okay, extending, getting up nice and tall and shrugging. Keeps the elbows locked out. Doesn't pull with the arms. You don't want to see a pull with the arms. He's focusing on extending through the hip, knee, and the ankle and shrugging. Good. And relax. Just a couple of things with them. Sometimes we saw Tim whip his head back. Okay, sometimes if we do that, that can cause too much of an extension through the hip and that bar pops out in front. Okay, what we need to do, stay neutral with the head and just get up nice and tall. And we focus on that extension through the hip, the knee and the ankle. That's the main thing we're looking for with any variation of the power clean or the power clean is that aggressive triple extension. That then is transferable to our on-field performance, whether it's running, jumping, or in that collision area. Okay? Once we've mastered the rack pull, then we're going to go into our hang power clean. So the athlete should be used to this extension now and this shrug, and now all we're going to do is incorporate the catch. The athlete will also be used to holding that bar across that clavicle shelf from front squatting. So holding the bar across the shelf there with the elbows nice and high shouldn't be foreign to the athlete. So all Tim's going to do is just take the bar off the rack. Okay, we do this off the rack now. He's going to get into that mid-thigh position or hang position, which he'll be used to now from the rack pulls, but also around these movements we'll be doing RDLs, so he should be used to this movement here, this position here. Again, shoulders over the bar, nice and tight through the lats, long through the arm, shoulders again over the bar, but the bar's nice and tight to the thigh, okay? Doesn't let that bar come away. Feet underneath his hips, toes relatively facing forward or slightly turned out. Now again, all he's going to do is focus on that extension through the hip, knee and the ankle, but once, just relax Tim, once he's hit this extension here, all he's looking to do is kick the feet out or slide the feet out into a squat stance position, at the same time shooting the elbows through and catching that bar across the clavicle shelf. He is not looking to pull that bar up into position with his arms. The arms stay long and relaxed. He pulls the bar up by extending aggressively through the hip, knee and ankle. He shrugs, and once that bar's moving, he moves himself around the bar by kicking the feet out and shooting the elbows through. Sometimes what we see is the athlete kick out too wide, so we're in a sumo position, which we don't want to see. It's literally a simple slide out from that jump stance position to squat receiving position. So Tim's going to try that now. So he stands the bar up, gets into that hang position, extends, shrug, kick out, shoot the elbows through. Okay, regrip, go again, we'll just do 3 more. Extend, shrug, better, good. Nice and dynamic around the bar, so we focus on getting tall, and then we move ourselves around the bar. One more time for me. Extend and shrug, kick out, shoot the elbows through. Good. Cool, and relax. So what we tend to see sometimes with rugby players, with American football players, players that have got big, strong upper bodies can tend to just pull with the arm and try and heave that bar up into a rack position, rather than focusing on that extension and shrug and that movement around the bar. Again, we want to see a nice dynamic landing, okay, nice and strong in that landing as well, and getting those elbows through. Okay. Once we've mastered the hang power clean, then we start focusing on going from the floor. So we're going to be doing a full power clean now. The way we get the athlete used to pulling from the floor is by introducing the first pull to their warm-up. So when they come in and they warm up, we get the athlete coming in and they'll just do sets of 5, say 3 sets of 5 on the lightweight, just moving that bar from the floor up into a hang position. Gets the posterior chain nice and warm, okay, and gets the athlete used to that movement, gets them learning that skill. So all Tim's going to do is get himself into a start position for the power clean. So again, feet jump stance position, okay, shoulders over the bar, nice and tight through the back, okay, and hips underneath the shoulders. Now all Tim's going to do from there is just going to extend through the knee, rising his hips and shoulders up at the same time, keeping his shoulders over the bar. He should feel those hammies load up, feel the tension in the hamstrings, okay, feel the tension in the lats, okay, just go into that hang position. The athlete, again, is used to that top position there from the hang power cleans, okay, but also from his RDL, so he should know what position to get himself into. Cool. Brilliant. Lovely. Sometimes with that movement, you can see athletes just shoot up with the hips, go into a lock position, or sometimes they try and sort of stand up or squat the bar up. Okay, what we want to see is that nice sweeping motion with the bar, okay, that transference of weight from the upper part of the foot to the majority of the foot. Okay, just this nice simple movement there. Once they've got that movement, then we can just tie it in all together, so we're performing a full power clean. So that's what we're going to try and get Tim to do now. He's going to do a nice controlled first pull from the floor, thinking about his positioning. Once he hits that hang position, then he's going to focus on aggressively extending and shrugging, and then being dynamic under the bar and catching the bar nice and strong with the elbows high. Okay? Not bad. And again. So one thing with Tim, his catch, okay, his feet aren't really moving at all. So Tim, what I want you to focus on now is on the catch. Just make sure we're kicking our feet out a little bit wider. Better. So that causes him to be a little bit more dynamic under the bar, okay? His feet were making a noise, but they actually weren't moving. We want to see those feet move. Good. One more for me. Not bad, not bad. Cool, and relax. So that's good. He's focusing on that first pull. He's focusing on keeping his position nice and tight. Once he gets to that strong hang position, then he can aggressively extend and shrug, and he can be dynamic under the bar. When he's got that movement down and he's happy with the technique, and I'm happy with the technique, okay, then we can start loading the bar up, getting some good power development into the athlete. But then also that first pull can be a little bit more dynamic from the floor as well. We want it controlled. It's going to be faster than his second pull, obviously, but obviously we don't want it too slow from the floor. Okay, we want to be nice and powerful from the floor as well. But we do that sort of controlled movement just to get him used to pulling from the floor and keeping his shape. The ways we can develop that movement as well is we can progress the athlete into clean pulls. So we load that bar up over his sort of 1RM power clean. So we look at 100 to 120% of his 1RM power clean, and we can start pulling heavy from the floor and focusing on his shape from the floor and that extension at the top and shrugging. Okay, so a power clean in conjunction with some heavy clean pulls is a good way to go to get that athlete powerful.